originally that was something that I also had when I started out overseas. I would get really up and down. I remember my first game, I had a great game. I had like 23 points or something like that. Second game, I had 4 points, just went ice cold. And I remember the first thing I started asking my coach, because the crazy thing was when I got there, I was on a bus ride, or we were going to someplace in the capital city, and I was with the imports who had just got cut. So they were telling me how, they have crazy expectations. You can't have 2 bad games in a row. These guys are bad management, all this stuff. So the second game I scored 4 points. And I remember I went right to my coach after, and I was like, I was paranoid. I was like, are they going to cut me? Like, what's going to happen now? And then he was just trying to put me at ease and be like, no, don't worry. It's just a bad game. You played good the first game. We know you're a decent player, a good player. But yeah, that's a crazy thing, because some guys, they'll get so up and down. And then there's other guys like true pros who I've seen, and they'll go like 7 of 21, but it's like they're going 10 of 20 or 10 of 15, and they just keep on even keel going. And that's like a crazy thing. That's a real big like mindset shift you have to have.
Yeah, totally agree. And that's a great story. And honestly, man, like I would say that's like the biggest mentality advice I would have for anybody overseas. Like really, like you cannot get too high or too low. The problem is like when you have a good game, guys get too high. I think that's the biggest problem. And they start, maybe I wake up Monday and not do my lift or not do my shots like I usually do because like I was hot last game. You can't do that. You got to maintain the same routine, the same thing every time. And like you said, when you have a bad game, just put your shoes on the same way, get out there and go again. It's nice when you have a good coach, like I assume you did in that situation. I've had that same thing happen to me when I was in Portugal, my second year. I played for a really good coach, and I remember in the preseason I had a bad game. And he thought I was pressing in the game a lot. He's like, man, you're looking for your shot too much. Don't worry. You're going to be my point guard from now to the end of the season. That's what he told me. And that totally lifted everything off my shoulders. And I took off from there. I had a great season. But I'll never forget him telling me that after that preseason game. He said, hey, man, don't press. You're going to be my point guard now to the end of the season, no matter what. And I was like, wow, that made me feel a lot better. Now, every coach isn't like that, of course. I played for coaches that after a bad game, I'm nervous too. But I think it helps a lot when you have a good coach, understandable guy. And I had that year in Portugal, but that's a good story you had too.
Yeah, that's amazing to hear, because I've seen some cases too where like they'll literally, the owner will come down from the stands. I've seen this in games. Come down to from the stands, go to the bench and tell the import like, yo, you better turn up or else, basically, like mid-game. So it's like some of the markets, they have crazy expectations, like the Middle East or some of these countries in Asia, whereas other ones, some of them will be a bit more like loose and supportive in some ways, but it's really like luck of the draw. So yeah, like you were mentioning, it's really good to build that mindset early on of, just that's an amazing story that you told of whether it's a good game or a bad game, you just keep on going the next day with your routine, because that's the key, really.
Yeah, that's right. I heard a lot of NBA guys say that, like JJ Redick. I heard a lot of NBA guys say that. So I think, yeah, good game, bad game. Wake up Sunday on your day off, and then Monday go in the gym just like you had 2 points or 40 points, and do it the same way.